On behalf of the organizer, first of all, I would like to invite Funabashi Yoichi, Chairman of Asia Pacific Initiative, for his opening remarks.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Funabashi, Chair of the Asia Pacific Initiative. API is hosting Why Geoeconomics Matters. I would like to start this symposium now. Despite the fact today it's Saturday, we have 380 persons from various circles registered. We are very grateful. Thank you. First of all, I would like to share with you why we are holding this symposium today. 10 years ago, we wanted to validate Fukushima nuclear accident from a private independent position, rebuild Japan Initiative Foundation, and then in 2017 it was realigned independent think tank. In the backdrop of reorganization, there was a tectonic move in the global politics and economics. What underpinned the world and Japan's peace and prosperity, the rule-based multilateral international order, it started crumbling down with China's aggression, expanded closed sphere of influence, Russia's aggression to Crimea, U.S. Trump administration tariffs, bilateralism, America first, digital platform monopoly and data dominance, planetary environment, pandemic threats expansion, and in the developed democratic countries, emergence of populism. So what used to be started crumbling down. At the end of the 20th century, two young strategists in their unrestricted warfare, as they mentioned, warfare has changed to a warfare with all means. There's no distinction between soldiers and citizens. To put it differently, it was the now era of the world of geopolitics and geoeconomics. How best we can respond to this new challenge? Free and open society, world, future. How best we could build them. Painfully aware of this, we established the API. In particular, China, with its vast market and digital platform, using that, they weaponized economic interdependency and using this economic power for geopolitical purposes. What is this era of geoeconomics? What kind of influence does it have on the international order? And what Japan should do to respond? Those are the themes that we tackled in the first research of API, Contemporary Japan's Geopolitics, 13 Risks and the Era of Geoeconomics. The next research theme of API was the crisis of liberalism. With the birth of the Trump administration, the UK decided Brexit. EU was suffering from euro and refugee crisis. Democratic countries became introverted, more divided. Political platform underpinning the international order and robustness became less certain, in particular in the Asia-Pacific region, to support liberal international order. What can Japan do? What should Japan do? In a multifaceted manner, analysis was done by the Crisis of Liberal Internationalism, co-authored by Professor John I. K. Berry and I. At the API, we are looking at matters that have big influences on the society, world, and international relations, namely AI, big data, blockchain, quantum computing, biosmart city, or the fourth industrialized revolution. 2016 established the Silicon Valley Japan platform between Japan and Silicon Valley, creating the platform connecting the top management entrepreneurs. We try to promote innovation in the two countries. In 2018, together with the World Economic Forum, the government of Japan, we started the fourth Industrial Revolution Japan Center to implement innovation in the society, ethics, rules, standards, norms, protocols. Among the government, business experts, NGOs, we are trying to work together to create them. April 2020, we established the Institute of Geoeconomic Studies, inviting MURAI Jun, professor as dean from Keio University. And 2028. And under this API Institute of Geoeconomic Studies, he has been working to further expand research programs. In May the same year, we started distributing Geoeconomics briefing in Toyo Keizai, and the Japan Times are now distributing these articles throughout the world. January 2021, we invited Professor Jinbo Ken of Keio University and Professor Suzuki Kazuto, Graduate School of Public Policy, University of Tokyo, as the executive director and the acting dean of the Institute of Geopolitics Studies at the Military Statesman Forum. Starting from next month, we're going to start the online salon on Geoeconomics hosted by Professor Suzuki. We would like to call upon you, all the participants. We would like to help create a community for policy recommendation here in Japan on economic security studies. We would like to encourage you to participate in this online salon as well. I would like to share with you why I became interested in this theme very briefly. It started in the oil crisis in 1973. I was a journalist reporting on the biggest national crisis after the war. OPEC were using oil as the tool of diplomacy, and oil embargo was imposed on Japan. Japan's high growth suddenly stopped. Before the war, again there was imposition of oil embargo in Japan by the United States. Then the Pacific War started. When the economy became a weapon, what a fragile country Japan is. Zbigniew Brzezinski authored a year before the oil crisis, The Fragile Blossom, and that actually materialized. With communication revolution, there was a liberalization of trade and capital, a deepening of the economic interdependency. In each country, they were pursuing the stability of prices and the full employment as two pillars. But interdependency does not occur equally. There is always asymmetry, and there's power. Free trade isn't valuable simply because trade is free. Maintaining people's freedom and security to develop them, it's necessary, and that's the institution. The purpose of the economic policy is not conclusive in complete, perfect employment and stability of prices. To enable this, there must be the institution of politics and security and governance. Here in Japan, we need economic security policies that integrate economic policies and security policies. That's what I learned. That's what I actually deliberated in the economic security policies. At the LDP, Amari Akira, the member of the lower house, has been working on making policy recommendations on economic and security. The government and the LDP are now addressing this matter in the serious manner. I feel encouraged. What is Geoeconomics? It was published last year. First, huge economic innovative technologies, the fourth industrial revolution. Two, global supply chain connectivity and strategic infrastructure building through climate change, energy, pandemic, bio. Fourth, rules, norms, standards, protocol. These are mega geoeconomic challenges, and the economic statecraft importance was described. And what I learned so greatly from CFR's publication, Senior Fellow of CFR, Ambassador Robert Blackwill, and Dr. Jennifer Harris co-authored War by Other Means, Geoeconomics and Statecraft. Your Excellency wrote, markets and economics are indeed embedded in large realities of state power. Policy makers' capacity to understand the embeddedness and historical arc of geoeconomics in U.S. foreign policy will prove critical to the shape of American foreign policy ultimately takes in the coming decades, not just for the United States, but for Japan as well. This was a thoughtful and incisive comment. Ambassador Blackwill, we are indeed honored and grateful that you have complied our request to give us a keynote speech, because API is addressing this geoeconomics as one of the main themes. On behalf of the organizer, let me express my heartfelt gratitude once again. After the ambassador's comments, we would like to have a panel. Maeda Tadashi, JBIC Governor, and Matsukawa Rui, Member of House of Councillors. Governor Maeda is International Bank representing Japan, and he is a strategist of geoeconomics. His motto is, the nail that sticks out gets hit, but the nail protruding, a real protruding nail, doesn't get hit. He has been a very protruding nail and very salient nail indeed here in Japan. Matsukawa Rui, member of the House of Councillors, Parliamentary Vice Minister of Defense, an expert in diplomacy and securities. She's a poster woman of the next generation, a former diplomat who jumped into the world of politics to defend national interest to overcome fragility. Then Professor Suzuki Kazuto and Professor MURAI Jun will serve as moderators in 2 breakaway sessions. Let me introduce the members of the panel: Shiraishi Takashi, Chancellor of Prefecture University of Kumamoto; Yoshioka Keiko, the Asahi Shimbun's senior staff writer; Nagashima Akihisa, member of House of Representatives; Matsubara Mihoko, NTT Chief Cybersecurity Strategist. We couldn't ask for more. We are indeed honored and privileged. Thank you so much. I hope that you could stay with us until the very end of today's programs.